So guys, as today we have arranged this webinar, so let me introduce our keynote speaker. First off, good afternoon to one and all. I, Nilesh Indaramurumkar, would like to welcome you all. I am the Director of Life Science, the Institute of Human Excellence. Yeah, friends, we are fortunate to have such a graceful personality, Dr. Anaga Somunchi Madam, as the keynote speaker of today's webinar on English language and communication skills. She has more than 30 years of teaching experience at Srimati Lakshmi Bai Gangane Junior College, Koot. She is reputed as a good and sincere teacher. Her educational achievements are quite praiseworthy. She completed her BSc in mathematics and went on completing her LLB. Later, she did MA in English along with MEd and very soon added one more feather by completing MS in psychology and counseling. She is brilliant research scholar and we are happy to mention that she is double PhD, one from Nagpur University and another from Amravati University. The topic is comparative study of R.K. Narayan and Chetan Bhagat. Her creative achievements are equally praiseworthy. She is a good writer, having published such books: Anthology of Stories in Marathi, titled Samram. The second, Anthology of Critical Essays, The Three Acts, and published many research papers and national and international journals. Yep. Madam, we are super excited to listen to you. Yeah, now I would like to hand it over to you.
Okay, friends. A very good afternoon to all of you. So, I'm really very pleased at the very outset. I would like to thank the proprietor of Life Shines, Mr. Nilesh Murumkar, for giving this wonderful opportunity of connecting with you people, the lovers of English, the eager listeners of English. So, friends, you have fallen in love with English language, I say. Oh, so, friends, it is going to be an exciting session today. The topic which he has given me to express my views are very close to my heart: English language and communication skills. Friends, you're already in love with English, so I'm sure in your minds, in the deeper crevices, you're just thinking about how to master the mistress now, isn't it? Okay, don't worry. We will try our best to master this new mistress. Friends, it's really very refreshing to be connected with the eager listeners. Now, English language, with all its glamour, it has enamored you. And you are going to, or you have resolved, I think it's a COVID challenge, I suppose. And if it is, friends, I congratulate you. COVID challenges were thrown in various fields. Now, one thing about challenges is very clear thing. Challenges which are thrown to others, there is every chance of being defeated. But the challenge which we take for ourselves, we never are going to accept the defeat. So you are already on to a journey which is going to reach to a very successful destination. So friends, I congratulate you again. The topic which Nilesh has extended to me is about English language and communication skills. Friends, this language, which each one of us has studied it in our schools, in our colleges, and the participants, I know it's a large spectrum, right from KG to PG, but all are the lovers of English. So friends, the topic which we are going to discuss today is English language and communication skills. So let us start our journey. Are you ready? Okay, on to our discussion. Anyway, so we shall proceed with English language, very dear to your heart. It has been very close to my heart also. So friends, the beauty of the language, English language that we have been studying since first standard, some of you might be from So I'm really aware of the place that it has already created in your hearts. And I see from here, it has created it has occupied a large space in your heart. Friends, but let us go to the statistics of place of English in India. Let us take a look at it. Okay. What is the scenario in India? And let us go to the statistical details. India being a multilingual country, we just go through the statistical figures that which are before us. Hindi, which is our national language, is spoken by 57% of people. English is spoken by 10.6% people. Bengali by 8.85, Marathi by 8.18. So these are the various languages in the multilingual country that is India, which is spoken. The ratios are in percentage over here, friends. But let me tell you, this reading is from the 2011 census. Right now, we have got almost 12% of people speaking in English. So this is a scenario in India. Now, we Indians have been under the rule of English people for such a long time. And we do have a legacy of English language. Here in India, wherever we travel, whether it's in the north, it's the south, the east or the west, when we are traveling throughout the country, one thing we realize, English is the only language which connects us to those local people. Most of the time we get our things done by conversing in English. So friends, this is how English has also emerged as a linked language in our country. So this is about India. What is the status of this language in the wide world? The next column, it is giving us the evidence here that throughout the world, English is spoken by 1,132 million people, friends. Mandarin, which is the language of the Chinese, is spoken by 1,117 million people. Hindi by 615 million people, Spanish by 534, French by 280 million people, and Arabic is spoken by 274 million people. So look here, this is the place of English in India and throughout the world. So these statistical figures have averaged us with the place that it is right now. So the job scenario has widened for the people who are well versed in this language. Looking around, the aviation, diplomacy, tourism, business, international banking, all these sectors around us, a lot of transactions are carried out in this language, that is English. Friends, language of the sky too is English. Language of internet is English. And we are all aware that during this lockdown period, we all have become netizens. Most of the time we are online. Now, whatever information we need to get an access to through internet, it flows to us through English, isn't it? Internet is a mine of information, and the access, the key to this mine is in our hands. That is a language, that is English, through which we get an access to the information that which is required. Friends, not only information, but also thinking about the role of language in entertaining us. It makes life entertaining, no doubt. We all are aware. The books, the ample books which are available in English language, they have enriched our lives, isn't it? Chetan Bhagat, I would like to quote him over here, who has written books in English, in very simple English. And he has been regarded who made India read like anything. Friends, crazies, young generation was just crazy to read these books. And reading the books has popularized the English language among these young people who have got other languages as the mother tongue. Also the songs in English, friends. The songs, that is the band that the youngsters enjoy. Pink Floyd, Freddie Mercury is very favorite with the youngsters. The films, the Hollywood films, all are crazy for those films, isn't it? My generation knows Titanic, but what about the youngsters? Avengers, Fast and Furious are their favorite movies. Also, the TV serials in English. To quote over here, one of them is Friends, very famous with the young lot. Game of Thrones is very popular with people like of my generation. So English has got its unique role in making our life entertaining, friends. Also, taking a look at the access to multiple cultures that which is enabled by English. Just recollect the number of films we can watch on TV, whether it's a Marathi film, whether it's a Tamil film in any regional language of this vast country with the subheadings in English. As soon as we get those subheadings, dear friends, we have enjoyed the narration, we have enjoyed the movie, we have understood it, we have enjoyed it. Along with entertaining us, it is also educating us by bringing into the culture along with the language. And having a very close look at the lives of those people, the multiple cultures which come before us, our empathy no doubt increases. So we too grow as a person. And this is possible only because of English language. Friends, very important thing, a point which is very, very close to our heart. What about the job opportunities? So it is said in vernacular, ज्याची इंग्रजीवर कमांड त्याची जगभर डिमांड. So friends, it's very true. Those who have got an exceptional ability of using English as their language, here the statistics tell us they have got 30% higher salaries. So it is not only entertaining us, it is not only bringing us up, it is feeding us also. So friends, no doubt, this is the importance of English. So all of you have already been allured by it, isn't it? Okay. Now, discussing about the importance, what is the status of this language in our country? Scenario in India. Now, visuals speak louder than words. The emoji tells you it's not promising. Professor V.K. Gokak, what does he say? He opines over here, dear friends, that English is taught in our schools, isn't it? Right now, they study from first standard. When V.K. Gokak, he was working as an English teacher, students were taught to read this language from maybe fifth standard or sixth standard. But it did come to 6 years of learning English at school itself. And what is the outcome? He pathetically mentions here in his quote that it is estimated that hardly the students, after learning for 8 years, per day one period of English, look here, 1,500 they haven't mastered or they haven't made their own by the time they have come out of the schools and by the time they join the university. So it is really a dismal picture in our own country. Those students, they are not acquainted with the common structures of English. Leave aside speaking it fluently, friends. So this is the scenario, a very dismal scenario in India. Okay, taking our further discussion further, this was the scene in almost 10 to 15 years back. What is the position now? We are curious to know. Here, I have got a recent report of a recent survey made by Aspiring Minds. It's a global access of friends. What does it have to show us? It's telling us, look at, let's take a look at it. 47% were found not employable in any sector. This is the situation now, given the lack of proficiency in English and cognitive skills. 84% graduates were found to lack the right levels in cognitive ability. 90% graduates did not have the required proficiency in English communication. 80% of Indian engineers are not fit for any job in the knowledge economy. So how is the scene now? Mind-blowing, shocking, hasn't improved with the years. So friends, we have seen the place of English. We have realized the importance of this language. We have also gone to the status of English 15 years before and even right now. So it's really shocking to know the position of English even now. And that is why this has made it actually, Nilesh sir was prompted to take today this topic of dealing with communication skills. So types of communication, friends, what is communication? Let us just discuss what is communication. The communication is a process. It's a two-way process. One is the sender, the other end there is a receiver. So messages are sent, and the types of communication we broadly can divide them into oral and written communication. As since we are dealing with language, I've just taken these two. Oral communication between two people communicating orally, exchange of information, exchange of thoughts, exchange of emotions. One or two people in conversation, two or three in a meeting, the communication goes to orally. The other type of communication is written communication. The letters, the emails committed to writing. So these two types, we shall just discuss here today. Oral communication, friends. Now, this thirsty crow. The story of the thirsty crow, which we have gone through in our childhood, the youngsters, the young children who are in this webinar, they have also gone through this story, a very popular story, Thirsty Crow story. So let us enjoy its English version over here. Once upon a waqt, there was a kawa. He was very, very pyasa. Here, there, bhatka. He saw a matka. Some pattar patka, little water gatka, and satka. So friends, this is the version of the original story. Now, code mixing, learning language by entertaining the listeners, it is the in thing nowadays, nothing wrong. So this English version, it has entertained us. But the expression on the face of the crow before the pot is the expression on the face of the English teachers. Even after having so much of liberty with this language, are people getting to it? This is about oral. What about the written? What is the status of written communication in and around us? So let's move on. Let's take a look at it too. Dear friends, written communication. Look at the birds around us, going around, breakfast, and what type of dinner. There is a vacancy now. A male is required, but what is he writing? He needs a sales girl. This is how it is written, isn't it? Now, I really doubt whether you would go in and take the juice. Since it is not a vegetable juice, it is vegetable, but do visit. Poor thing. Such howlers, they are good to entertain us, friends, but at the same time, very painful. Don't you think? The words which are profusely used by the people so very popularly, I think that proper care also should be taken, that they are put in the right way at such public places. Don't you think it's the responsibility of each one of us? We who read such words, have we ever taken the trouble to inform the owner? Have we ever gone to the painter? Have you ever gone to the person who has made these attractive birds? I don't think so. So let us do something for it, friends. It's a very pathetic sight. It's no doubt entertaining, but at the same time, very painful, which shows the actual position of the language which has reached to the commoners. Friends, as I mentioned that we have got a legacy of English language. I remember an anecdote from the times when English people, the Britishers, were ruling us. Lord Dalhousie was here at a farmhouse in India. And the anecdote will make it clear that years back when the Britishers were ruling us, no doubt the impact of the language was on the native people. He was being served by a servant, an attendant named Ramu. Now one day what happened, Lord Curzon very leisurely, he was roaming about the premises. He had come out for his evening tea. And he was just about to enjoy it, friends. Ramu had brought the tea outside. He had served his master, and suddenly a loud sound was heard, as if something had fallen somewhere. And suddenly Lord Curzon, he suddenly shouted, Ramu, what's it? What sound? And that poor person, he came running and he said, Sir, you know what has happened? He's asking, yes, that is what I'm asking you, Ramu. Sir, the husband of the cow, Ranat came and she fell into the well. So friends, this was called as Butler's English years back when the people were over here. So it's really hilarious. even the greengrocers who sold vegetables on the roadside, the impact of language. Those ladies who had used to bring fresh vegetables to sell to the people. When bargaining used to go on, and that lady who had brought the fresh vegetables from her farm, look at the attitude, the way she answers. Tekshinta tek, naita nakoteku. So this take, she actually wanted to say, if you want to take, you take, and if you don't, better go away from here. So friends, this was the status in the British times. And right now we have seen that things haven't improved. And that's why the Cupid's arrow, which has struck you people for the love of English, it's very important. Now we are no longer citizens of one country. We are staying local and we are global citizens. And the importance of English language, it hasn't decreased with time. The English have left our country years back, but the language has stayed over here. In fact, its importance has increased with years. Now, where the problem is, where does the problem really lie? Let us take a look at it, a closer look rather. Now, studying English from the first standard or studying English from the fifth standard, we are well acquainted with the language competencies which we have been drilled. LRSW. Friends, these are the 4 pillars of communication. These are the 4 language skills, the language competencies. So on these 4 pillars rests the edifice of English language. L for listening. We have gone to our schools, those who are out of school, those who are out of universities, and also those small little children who are in schools right now. Dear friends, do you remember the loud reading made by our teachers in the class? What were we supposed to do? The teacher used to read loudly. Loud reading made by the teacher. And what were we supposed to do as students? Yes, dear friends, what have we done? Those who have left the schools, those who are in the schools, what are we doing? Do we listen to what ma'am or what our sir is reading? Yes, we do listen. But how is the listening? Do we hear or do we listen? So try to understand the difference between to hear and to listen. Friends, we are expected to listen. Listen is an intentional activity. It is a voluntary activity. So in schools, when the teachers read aloud, and we on our part were doing the listening, our part was listening. And remember, active listening is what is required. Have we done active listening or have we been the passive listeners? This is for us to judge. Now, listening which is done actively is fruitful because when the teacher is reading, that whatever is read out, we are listening. We have got a purpose and we have put in all our concentration. And when have we done the listening in this way, we have been cultivating our capacity, our ability. We were building up our language competency of listening. Very important skill. Reading, friends. We were supposed to read. After the teacher read loudly, we were supposed to read in the class. I have taken you to the classroom situation because just to get a very close look at all these competencies. Reading. Reading was our part now, and the listening was going to be done by the teacher and other students. So when reading, going to the text, how is this ability to be improved our eyes, comprehending the matter to the words, to the group of words, collocations. So when we are reading the text, we are doing two things. We are comprehending the matter ourselves, and also at the same time, we are driving it to the listener also. So this is an activity which we done very nicely, very sincerely, I can say. It has a two-way benefit, friends. We came to know the text, we could understand the text, and that was the proper way of reading it. Then I can say listening and reading are the input skills for communication, these two language skills. The other two, speaking, dear friends, speaking in the classroom situation. We are offered situations, they are created in the classroom to speak. Many a times to answer the question raised by the teacher. Sometimes when we participate in discussions in the class. So this skill is developed a sentence, meaningful sentences. Through meaningful sentences, we are putting forward our ideas, the matter which we have comprehended. So this is how our competency of speaking was gradually developed in the classroom, or we were supposed to develop in our classroom. Writing, friends. Writing is also, I can say, a very important, a very crucial skill that we have developed, a competency which we have built up in our school years. Writing a word, writing a sentence, writing a paragraph. We were given opportunities to write. And this is how gradually these skills were developed in our classroom. Listening, reading, speaking, writing. Those who are out of school, those who are out of colleges will recollect how this process has gone unconsciously in the language classrooms. So these are the friends I would like to stress again. These four are the ACEs. Language, that is listening, reading, speaking, and writing. The two, listening and reading, are the input, and speaking and writing are the skills for output of the language. Okay, so this is the proper way of acquiring the basics of knowledge, also the fluency, the accuracy of language lies on these four pillars. Now, what were the challenges? We were doing our part. The teacher was doing her part. What were the challenges? Why is that even today we feel that we haven't mastered those skills? Just let us take a cursory look at the challenges which have come on our way. Short of purpose. The purpose of learning English. They were short of purpose, friends, because it was taught as a subject. Rather, it should have been dealt like a language. Only then the purpose of learning English could have been served, but it was short of purpose. It has damaged our learning. The faulty methods we needn't discuss. We find them around us in the classroom situation, in the school, around us. Faulty methods are adopted, both of teaching and learning. There is shortage of audio and visual aids in the institutions. Moreover, lack of time in school timetable for going to the mistakes made by the children, to correct them at the proper time, to insist upon the students where they have gone wrong, what should they be correcting, and how should they be improving. So this is again a problem of time management. And friends, a very big hazard which is considered in language learning is the interference of mother tongue. Now, children having various mother tongue, they come in the class to learn English. And when they are coming to the classroom, they have brought the knowledge of their mother tongue along with them. And it poses a problem, you know, when they learn the language through that, to their outlook. So it interferes with the pronunciation with the words like B, W. These two languages, they are totally different, having totally, we can say, the sentence structure is also different. Marathi, here we have got subject, object, and verb, whereas English, S plus V plus O. Also, adjective doesn't change in English, but adjective changes according to the gender of the speaker, according to the number of the speaker. So these changes, which are very important, they come in between and interfere the learning of English language. Also, dear friends, even though English is with us since so many years, it is still considered as a foreign language learning. Now, having this bias while learning the language is naturally going to put challenges before us. So we learn it as a foreign language. And whenever we learn any foreign language, the biggest barrier is that we don't have that much ease of getting acquired with it. So friends, these are the challenges. They are there. So whatever is there, it is before you and before me. But what are we supposed to do then? Yes, we are here to overcome those challenges and to acquire the mastery over the mistress, that is English, isn't it? So friends, let us put a step forward. These challenges are there. This is the present situation, but we over here are to find the solution to the problems. Now, regarding the suggestions to how to find the way out, how to face this challenge, dear friends, at the very outside, I should humbly mention here that my suggestions really come from my observations for being an English teacher at a semi-urban place. For last 30 years, I've been teaching English to the children coming, most of them coming from the rural areas, very few coming from the town itself. So whatever I have assimilated throughout these years as an English teacher, friends, let me tell you very humbly that my suggestions might come through this experience of mine. Now, what do we need to do? These days, we are facing a great pandemic, and all the while, we are being reminded by the government, हमें बीमारी से लड़ना है, हमें बीमार से नहीं. So, does it sound anything to you? Does it sound any meaning to you, friends? So, we are going to beat the disease. We are here. Bimar, we should be intact. So, what is needed is, I think, change of focus. Friends, what I have observed all through these years is that the change of focus is very necessary. English is learned as a subject. English is learned from the examination point of view. And that is why I think problems have cropped up. So we totally need to change our focus. It should be learned as a language for communication. And when this is adopted, I'm sure it is going to really change. Speaking about the proper approach, dear friends, this is what we are here for today, to find the way out. Now, I've welcomed you and I'm aware that you are eager learners of English language. Yeah, reminding me of Sashi Godbole from English Wenglish. Those of my friends who are housemakers should idealize Sashi Godbole when it comes to learning English. Shri Devi, so very beautifully she has enacted this role, Sashi Godbole. that intense desire to learn the language just because she's made fun of in her own family, her kids laughing at her, making fun of her, just because she's not good at the pronunciation, she's not good at speaking the language. Friends, just borrow the zest from her, the intensity of her desire to go out of way and to acquire the language. So Sashi Golbole is in that way an ideal for my friends. Professor Frisba, he has hinted, dear friends, that the process of learning all languages is almost alike, a hint for all of us. What I would like to suggest over here is that learning English language should be as good as learning our mother tongue. Do you remember how you learned your mother tongue? I don't remember. Do you? You've learned it. I don't actually really remember how I learned it. But friends, science tells us that we have learned the language since we were in the fetus, as a fetus in our mother's womb. Since then, we have acquired the acquisition of our mother tongue. So, we have heard the language, we have listened to the sounds of the language so very early. Coming out of the womb, when we were babes, when we were little babies, the kids in the family, we started blabbering in the mother tongue. How did we do it? We did it unconsciously. Actually, we have done it by imitating the sounds, the way my mother spoke, the way my father and all the members in the family. And while doing so, was I very clear with my pronunciations? Was I very good at those words? No, I don't think so. All used to laugh at me, or laugh at the small children. We also enjoy it, isn't it? Dear friends, this is the way we have acquired our mother tongue. Why can't we do it with English language then? Learn it as a small child, imitation, to imitate the pronunciations, to imitate the way the language is spoken by the natives. So we can do it, we can imitate. But the problem now is the bloated ego. Let us overcome it. When we, like small children, the way we started walking, first step, fell down, second step, fell down again. But didn't we learn to walk? So I'm sure we will also learn to speak this language fluently. Again, the proper approach, I think, the mother tongue approach is the best, I think. Learning by imitation. When we are in school, the way the words are pronounced by our English teacher, the pronunciation, the presentation made by our English teachers, the way it is made in the media outside, the listening to the language and then imitating. So let us proceed with our journey. The four pillars as I stress, listening to the best of the speeches, listening to the radio talks, listening to the announcements made on radio, TV. Ideal pronunciations are there, dear friends. I very many times ask my children to listen to the English news bulletin. A very easy way. You haven't to go out of your place to switch on the radio, to put on your TV. The pronunciations can be repeated by imitation. So why not? I'm sure you're going to start in that direction. About the reading skills, dear friends. Reading the books. The more you read, the more you will have the opportunities to acquire the language. I would like to quote Francis Bacon over here, the famous English essayist. He has very nicely said, dear friends, reading maketh a full man, conference a ready man, and writing an exact man. So very well he has touched upon all the four skills of language learning. So reading makes a man, yes, it adds to the personality. It enhances our personality, dear friends. Remember the books written by Enid Blyton, those which we read as kids. Agatha Christie with the novels, the detective novels, which held us like anything. Jane Austen with the simple themes that she dealt with, the familiar relationships. She was almost a member of our family then, reading those novels during our school days. And yes, P.G. Woodhouse for the treasure of humor that he brought in our lives. So friends, these books, reading the books, it enriches us, isn't it? Friends, mention of books is made, so I would take this opportunity to share something about a book I have recently read. I've read a book, Year of Wonders, friends, written by Geraldine Brooke. This story goes something like this. It is about the 1666 Black Plague, dear friends. A small village in Europe struck by the Black Plague in the 17th century. Geraldine Brooke, the way she has written the book, dear friends, wonderful, really wonderful. It has really, I don't really find the words. Yes, let me tell you why. The theme of the book, that was the Black Plague, the narration is about it. The details that she has enlisted, Geraldine Brooke, the way she has enlisted all the details of those days 400 years back, dear friends. The fear psychosis with the coming of the plague, the same behavior patterns which we also have recently experienced with the coming of the pandemic, COVID-19. It came on like anything, isn't it? The same feelings those people had, the same fear, the fear psychosis. And then the narration has got a protagonist, Anna Frick, that young girl of just 19 or 20 years, a young widow, dear friends. The way the role she has played during this Black Plague, a very simple occupation that she was into. She's a housemaid, going the household chores here and there. But the role that she has played in that small village, friends, really striking. This simple lady, she helps each and everyone to come out of the chaotic situation, the fear which is eating them. She goes to help as far as possible to each and everyone. She goes out of way. She tries to reach out to those people. She also does one more thing. She thinks about a family which is there, which has all the while been doing the business of giving medicines to the society. What happens? The whole family is dead because of plague. Now, Anna, she has got the back of her mind that they had a field. They used to do something about the herbs that which were available with them. So what did this protagonist, that is Anna Frick, do? She went to the place over there, to the house. She went through the books. She looked out for the herbs which were there in and around the house. She made the potions out of it. She tested them on herself. And believe, my dear friends, the kadha that we are taking, recommended by the Ayush ministry today, this simple lady, she gave them to as many possible people she could do. She took the trouble of making it for it on a larger scale. So friends, books making it so very clear. 400 years before, when there was no access of media, when there was no government to declare the lockdowns one after the other, the way they overcame, and what struck me more, dear friends, in the narration is the human spirit. Yes, जीने की जो उम्मीद होती है, as Amici says, ये जीने की चाह जो होती है, वही राह दिखाते हैं. Yes, dear friends, it happened. Same thing happened with those people there in a small village. They found out the way to overcome the situation, to overcome the very dismal situation which was around, and they did do the efforts. They educated the people. They informed them about the ways to take care. And yes, they did succeed in keeping a few people alive even after the Black Plague came and went out of the village. Friends, I really like the book because it has got such a great relevance to the situation that we people are going through. So that human spirit really struck me. This is about reading. So reading, it enhances you. Speaking, dear friends, when it comes to speaking, you say, yes, okay, ma'am. Listening, no doubt. Reading, welcome. We enjoy the books. When it comes to speaking, that is the problem, isn't it? Can't speak so very well. Now, just neglect that can't. Okay? Yes, you too can speak fluently. You too might have observed, dear friends, a video which had gone viral. It was about the Rajasthani ladies in Rajasthan, the Mewari ladies, simple folks from the village. And in that video I watched, a person interviewing them, and those ladies dressed up in those cultural dresses, speaking in English, believe me, fluent English. Yes, the way they were speaking, astonishing, amazing. Really stunned at the way they were speaking with him, answering one after the other in fluent English. And that same interview, dear friends, interrupted them and asked them, how have you made it possible, my sisters? And the answer that which they gave, dear friends, they said, we have grown up with this language. The foreigners who come to visit Rajasthan, we used to listen to their language, the way they used to speak. We taught them at a very early age, and now we can speak. It's very well we haven't gone to any school, no college, but yes, we can speak. And so, friends, imitation again, imitating those people who were just visitors over there. So, yes, we too can take a suggestion. We cry over here that we don't get a proper exposure. Why do we need the proper exposure, dear friends? One is sufficient. One, say, two is company and three is crowd. Yes, believe me, it's a crowd. Even a single person can make differences. You yourself, even if you are just alone and you say, man, how is it possible? How can I speak, improve my speaking skills? To whom should I be speaking? There's no one around here to speak in English. My dear friends, you have got a mirror at home, isn't it? So just go to it. And there's another person waiting for you there anytime. You have just to go to the mirror. So speak to that fellow, speak to that person. Will he deny? No. Go before a mirror, stand before it, and just go on speaking. Whatever comes to your mind, go on speaking in English, right or wrong. The other one in the mirror, he won't say anything. He'll be just as anxious, will be just happy when speaking right as you are, dear friends. It is a way to make mistake and then to learn. We learn by making mistakes. So why be afraid? Why be afraid of making mistakes? So you alone can also drill this skill of speaking English, even if you're alone at home. And why alone? Make friends, make a circle. We make our groups. We make our chat groups on our, we have got so many groups, isn't it? We have got so many circles. I needn't mention, But can't we make a small group of 2 or 3 friends for just speaking? Confide to them that you are going to speak to them in English. You don't expect them to speak in English to you, but just to listen to them. But they're just willing to listen to you. And when you tell them, they are friends after all, they'll bear you friends. Aren't you bearing me from such a just 30, 40 minutes? So your sweet friends will also bear you, believe me. Yes, go to them. Speak with them. I know a person, friends, I would like to give this example. He is from a medical field, a middle-aged person coming from a Hindi-speaking family. He just told me, "Ma'am, I've learned to speak English," and yes, he was okay. I said, "How did you master it?" Out of curiosity, because he didn't belong to the teaching field, or he was a medical practitioner. Moreover, coming from a very orthodox Hindi family, he said, "Ma'am, I have just decided to speak English and only English for 100 days." And he said, he told me, dear friends, he just spoke English for 100 days, right from morning till the time he went to bed. Whoever came across used to just speak in English. Whether they laughed, whether they neglected him, he said he didn't just bother to look at it. And that is the way he said he mastered the fluency. He's very good at speaking now. When I really couldn't even doubt, he said, "Yes, I haven't gone through any course, I haven't gone through any lessons of speaking. I just decided, of course, I did make a resolve to speak English and English for 100 days." But friends, he was not just speaking it for 100 days unguided or without any preparation. He did do it out of resolve, but he did take guidance, he did take proper lessons, and then mastered speaking. So I think you can really imitate him also. Coming to the writing skills, friends, I think that a newly introduced pictography, it was introduced 2 or 3 years back in the course books at junior college level, pictography. Pictures, they are really, they catch our attention like anything, isn't it? So how to improve writing while looking at pictures? Bring any picture before you, take any picture, and just start writing about it in English. A small sentence, a simple sentence, a complex sentence, and this is how you proceed. Just describing what's there. Share it with somebody in your family, share it with your friend, share it with your English teacher. I don't think they are so rude to neglect you. This is how you build up the ability of writing. Dear friends, writing is the crown of all these things. If you have listened well, if you have read well, if you have been good at speaking, you can be good at writing also. Writing, a process of catharsis. Psychologically, it's a process of catharsis. You write and you give vent to your emotions, to your thoughts. You may write for yourself. You may write your personal diary. Remember Anne Frank's diary, dear friends? The incidents that she had jotted, just a 13-year-old child. During that World War, she just noted what was happening around. A just 13-year-old girl could write history. So even our writing could be history right now in the lockdown period. All that we have gone through will be interesting for others to read. My experiences, your experiences, we are all going through the unique experiences of our life. Why not write them down, friends? Yes, start writing. If you haven't, you better start writing, and they'll make an interesting read for generations to come. Also, friends, I would suggest here just a minute that is called as JAM, the acronym, just a minute activity. Just stand up and start speaking in English. Just only for 1 minute. You can do it. Only for 1 minute, of course. Also, there are small talks that you can give before your friends, before the family. Role play you can go into, just taking up a role, whatever role you have entered into. You can practice the skills through these things. The group discussions, you can create an English study circle, dear friends, wherein you can exchange your views, sometimes in writing, sometimes you can put it into words, you can speak, you can read, but make a small circle of the English lovers. Come together, come together to learn. Let them laugh, let them enjoy. Haven't we laughed at others' mistakes? Yes, it is entertaining. At the same time, it is building ourselves also, dear friends. And now, in today's digital, the revolution of technology, there are so many things in so many programs for English learning, computer aided language learning, the language laboratories all are around us. Why not take the advantage? Why not take the excess of those things and go to them to enrich, to develop ourselves, to develop our personality by acquiring the language skills, dear friends? I don't think these are the suggestions which I have put forward. They are very taxing. They will need a lot of efforts, very simple things which we can start with. The only thing, as it is with any other thing, to start a long journey, friends, it's very necessary to put one step forward. So that first step, a hesitant step will not lead you anywhere, but a firm step towards the goal, friends, it's going to be the starting of the long journey. It is going to be very enriching. It is going to be very entertaining, believe me. You trying to learn the language, trying to master the mistress that you have already made. So her charms, I don't think they will let you be inactive. So try your best to acquire the tricks, the ways and means to please the mistress that is the English language. Dear friends, I would like to take your leave by quoting H.W. Longfellow. Let us then be up and doing, with a heart for any fate, still achieving, still pursuing, learn to labor and to talk. Yes, dear friends, practice and only practice is the means to acquire the skills of learning the language, of being very good at English. No other things can help you other than helping yourselves. A bad workman blames his tools. Let us stop with blaming, the blaming game. Let us take the reins in our hand, because now we are an era of being Atmanirbhar. So friends, let us sit into our beings. Let us be Atmanirbhar regarding the English language. And I promise you, it will be a very nice, promising journey, a great achievement, friends. So don't hesitate to start the journey. You are almost halfway. You have joined the webinar. That means the readiness, the willingness, that is, friends, what is required. Have big dreams. The big dreams in our lives, they make us big. They have made people big, and they will definitely make us big also regarding the learning of language to your friends. I'm reminded of great read over here about the dreams. He says, a dream written down with a date becomes a goal. It's a commitment, isn't it? A goal broken down into steps becomes a plan. So whatever you have decided to realize the plan, your strategy, your way of realizing your dreams, the plan that you have made, and a plan backed by action. You have already joined in the webinar. You are willing to take the guidance. You are willing to learn the lessons. A plan backed by such action makes your dreams come true, dear friends. What else is required? So here, I really am really hopeful to listen to you as fluent speakers of English. Fluency in the language comes first, and then comes the accuracy, dear friends. So this is our journey. First, let us acquire the fluency, and then going forward to the accuracy point. So friends, promise me, we are already on that journey. You and me are really going to reach our destination and realize the big, big dream. So all the best. Thank you very much for giving a patient listening. I once again thank Mr. Nilesh Murumkar for giving me this wonderful opportunity of connecting to you, and my sweet little friend, Ms. Gauri Zade, for helping me with the technical assistance she has given me and has made it possible for you and me to chat today. Thank you, friends. Thank you. Thank you very much for the wonderful time you have given me. Thank you. Stay home,
Hold,
stay safe.
hold on, all of you. Hold on. We are not done yet. Okay. It was such a wonderful session, madam. First off, thank you very much for all the time that your precious time that you have spared for us. Thanks a lot. It was such a wonderful session by you. I just loved your slides, madam, and the examples that you have given. You have just got such a thorough knowledge about this language. It was amazing. It was amazing to listen to you. Again, I would like to thank Gauri Zade, who has helped Dr. Anaga Somunchi, madam, in order to connect everything. Yes, friends, I could understand all of you. This is all about, technical issues that we faced at the very beginning. But you, being a very patient listener, did a bang up job. So thank you once again being the participant of this webinar. Thank you all. Thank you very much.